Okay, so today in your favorite tech bro CEO is absolutely pulling one over on you. He's a complete con artist bullshitter, and really the entire industry is. It's just a bunch of fucking hot air. And the entire economy is being held up by like scams and grifters and toothpicks. Did you hear what the Waymo executive had to say under oath? Now, mad props to my eldest kid. I was getting ready to film a video on something entirely different, and she came in and was like, "Oh my God, did you hear?" I know I had not, but now I have because I read up on it. So this came out yesterday. I'm just going to read to you here from a piece by Colson Thayer in People magazine. Y'all know what Waymos are, right? They're supposed to be these autonomous self-driving cars. They became really famous for folks outside of California when some of them appeared to be on fire during the protests down there. Okay, so either hold on to your seats because you didn't see this coming, or you're going to hear what I have to say and be like, of course, this is not surprising. The title of this piece is Waymo Exec Reveals Company Uses Remote Workers in the Philippines to Assist Autonomous Vehicles. The company's chief safety officer testified before lawmakers on Wednesday, February 4th, less than 2 weeks after a child was hit by a Waymo vehicle. An executive at Whimo admitted to lawmakers that the company uses remote employees in the Philippines to navigate difficult driving scenarios. That's not what they pitch in their sales meetings and their advertisements, but it's what they have to say when they're under oath and they face perjury if they lie. They're like real legal consequences if they bullshit in front of lawmakers under oath. The story suddenly becomes very different than what they are pitching to the public or the kind of perception. They want you to think Waymos are entirely autonomous, not that they are using exploited workers in other countries. So much of the tech bro industry relies on exploited labor in other countries, in the Philippines, in Kenya. They want you to think that AI, either with large language model search engines or with autonomous vehicles, is like something that is not expensive resource-wise and that is fully autonomous and functional on its own, when all of these rely on the labor of so many exploited human beings. Not to mention the huge environmental cost from all of this industry. While they feed you a line of bullshit, they make promises they cannot deliver on. It's smoke and mirrors. This industry is smoke and mirrors so that a bunch of boys can make an awful lot of money and then get the hell out of Dodge before their startups collapse, before, they have to face accountability. That's why I say the economy is held together by like fucking toothpicks and lies. Okay, so February 4th, the Senate Committee for Commerce, Science, and Transportation had a hearing about AVs, autonomous vehicles, and we found out that they're not quite so autonomous, are they? The hearing included witness testimony from an executive at Tesla, the CEO of the Autonomous Vehicle Industry Association, and an associate professor of law at the University of South Carolina. Also present was Dr. Mauricio Pena, the chief safety officer at Waymo. During the testimony, Senator Ed Markey from Massachusetts probed the executive about what happens when an AV encounters a situation on the road that it doesn't know how to handle. Remember, Tesla and Waymo, they really push through this like autonomous self-driving cars. Oh yeah, we're telling you that they're fully operational and they're not a risk to human beings' lives at all. Markey went on to try and dispel the misapprehension that the public is under. He said the Waymo phones a human friend for help when it gets into situations it doesn't know how to handle. The autonomous vehicle communicates with a so-called remote assistance operator. Despite the crucial role these operators play in autonomous vehicle safety, the public knows almost nothing about these people. The executive tried to claim that the human beings provide guidance, but they don't actually remotely operate the vehicles, but that the Waymo will ask them for guidance in certain situations and get input, but it's not really clear exactly what that means. When Markey tried to draw out of him, hey, where are these human operators of these Waymo vehicles that are driving around the streets of the United States? Pena said, some of them are in the US and some are abroad, but he couldn't recall the percentages. Markey kept pressing him, and he finally admitted that their international remote operators are located in the Philippines. Having people overseas influencing American vehicles is a safety issue. The information the operators receive could be out of date. It could introduce tremendous cybersecurity vulnerabilities. And let's not forget, Waymo is trying to replace the jobs of hardworking taxi and rideshare drivers. right? It's like so many things that capitalism promises us is going to make our life better is really just shifting the burden, shifting exploitation to workers abroad, increasing the profits of executives, harming American workers and exploiting workers overseas. That's late stage capitalism in a nutshell. Pena continued to reiterate his claim that these folks in the Philippines are not actually driving the car, they are remote operators who assist Waymo. But it's, again, still not clear what that means. Also, Waymo did not provide any statistics regarding how many remote operators are located in the US or elsewhere. Waymo operates in the United States in 6 markets: Atlanta, LA, Miami, Phoenix, and the San Francisco Bay Area, and Austin, Texas. They would like to expand to Boston, Dallas, Denver, Las Vegas, DC, and then London. A big part of why this hearing was put together is because less than 2 weeks ago, a Waymo vehicle hit a child while that child was walking to school. According to People, the child's age was not disclosed, but their injuries were minor. So finding out via congressional testimony that Waymo autonomous vehicles actually have human operators in the Philippines reminded me of another story. Fucking grifters and toothpicks holding the economy together. So Tesla has this humanoid machine, this android robot called Optimus that is supposed to be autonomous. It's always this overpromising. It's always this exaggeration from AI tech bros about what their product can deliver. It's always blowing smoke up your ass, making you think their AI can do more than it can, making you think that their autonomous machines, their artificial intelligence is capable of far more than it is, making you feel like humans are irrelevant when they still need humans to run all of this smoke and mirrors. I'm referencing here a piece from the LA Times from October 2024. There was this We Robot event in Burbank that was supposed to showcase all of these autonomous robots and all of this new tech. And Tesla had their Optimus humanoid machines there. And it turns out that actually there were off-site remote operators that were helping drive those robots at the event. Speaking of smoke and mirrors and overpromising, of these Optimus robots, Elon Musk has said, what can it do? It can be a teacher, babysit your kids, it can walk your dog, mow your lawn, get your groceries, just be your friend, serve drinks, whatever you can think of, it will do. Well, sure, if a human being is driving it, if a human being is doing all of those things. Especially, again, when you don't have to pay a nanny a fair wage, you don't have to pay a landscaper a fair wage, you don't have to pay teachers a fair wage. You can just exploit a worker overseas to drive the robot or to drive the Waymo. Now, Tesla's excuse as to why they needed human beings to help remotely operate these robots is that the Optimus machines weren't originally supposed to be at the event, and they didn't have time to get the software up to date once they found out they could bring them, and that's the only reason that they weren't fully autonomous. I know we're living in unprecedented times on so many levels: authoritarian breakthrough in the United States, an ethnic cleansing within our borders, genocides around the world, the failure of late-stage capitalism, global climate change, democracy in decline around the globe. But you got to add to that the embarrassment, the future embarrassment of the AI tech bro bubble, especially after it bursts. Especially when we hear autonomous vehicle executives testifying under oath in front of the Senate that actually there are remote operators in the Philippines and Waymos aren't totally autonomous. I think we're going to look back on this period and be like, why do we let them fool us? Why was it so seductive and alluring that we allowed them to overpromise on all of AI, right? Large language model, robots, autonomous vehicles, and in a way that we just wanted to believe the movie fantasy, right? We wanted to believe they could do so much more than they could. While really they were just overpromising so they could drive their stock prices up and then cash out, right? It's all a grift. And I think the economy is going to find that out soon. We're going to find that out soon, and we will look back on this period as yet another shame perpetuated by the oligarchy on the American people and on the entire globe. We will look back and say, why did we ever think that we needed this kind of AI? Why did we ever think the promises that they made could be trusted? And why didn't we envision something better? Why didn't we believe that we deserved this kind of technology to be used in a way that benefits us, that benefits society, instead of gets the technocrat bros super rich while we exploit workers in other countries and cost Americans their jobs?